Hi, this is Danny D, and welcome to Pathways of Hope. Join me as I reflect on today's beautiful gospel from John 20, verses 24 to 29. Today is the feast of St. Thomas the Apostle. He was also known as the Doubting Thomas because of this particular gospel. Join me as we go deeper into today's story, get to know Thomas a bit more, and listen to what Jesus wants to tell us today. What do we know? We know that Thomas was not with them when Jesus came the first time. We know that Thomas was with Jesus all the way to the Last Supper and heard him say that he will die and come back after 3 days. We know that Thomas was there after 3 days and heard all the stories of people seeing Jesus alive. In fact, he told them, unless I see the mark of the nails in his hands and put my finger into the nail marks and put my hand into his side, I will not believe. Now, biblical scholars ask why Thomas was not there and surmise that he must have been hiding somewhere. Now, was Thomas hiding because he was fearful? Most probably. Because who wouldn't be? Imagine the leader that everyone knows you are the disciple of was brutally humiliated and killed days before. You must not want to be near these friends of this Jesus, who was probably the most unpopular at that time. Because if they can do that to him, what can they do to his followers? And Jesus knew this fear. And Jesus knew that, and he understood. Then Jesus comes in through locked doors and gave them peace. And I think this message he has for all of us who at times would be an unbeliever or a doubter. He says, put your finger here and see my hands. And bring your hand and put it into my side. And this is the most important line. And do not be unbelieving, but believe. He continues at the end and says, blessed are those who have not seen and have believed. Now Jesus wants to tell us that he is real, that he has risen, and that he is beside us every day, and that he loves us. He loves you. Let me break down the difference between doubt and unbelief. Doubt presumes you have faith, but have some questions. Unbelief presumes you know the truth based on facts, but refuse to accept it. Now, questions are normal. To question is a sign of desire to know more about the truth, to know more about God. Because if you know everything, there's no need for faith. So we presume doubters have faith. But when we get to heaven, there's no need for faith anymore because we'll know everything. But while we are here, we will not know everything. That's why we will need to have faith. Faith that he is alive and that we are loved. Thomas was with Jesus, heard everything that he said, heard all the accounts of his friends, the Lord's disciples, but refused to believe because he was clouded by fear, just like many of us. At times, fear makes us unbelieving. Fear makes us ask, what will believing cost me? How many of us live in this fear? How many of us, after seeing and experiencing his love and miracles in our lives, because of fear, we forget? So what is Jesus asking today? Are Are we doubting because we do not know the truth yet? But we will not stop at getting the answers. And in the meantime, we have faith that everything Jesus said was true, that he is risen. Or are we unbelieving? Even after knowing that Jesus is for real, that he was sent by his Father, he lived and died and rose again after 3 days, we refuse to accept that in the way we live. Do we take matters in our own hands sometimes, even if it means being less loving, less honest, less true, both at work or in our businesses, in our daily lives? Living just in case what we know is not true, in fear of what is to come. Brothers and sisters, let us question, let us doubt, but do not be unbelieving, but believe. Let us believe and listen with our hearts to Jesus in John 14:27 when he says, "Peace I leave you, my peace I give you. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." Let me end now with how John ends his whole book. The very last verse in his book, in John 21, verse 31. "But these things have been written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and so that in believing you may have life in his name." God bless you and have a great weekend.